Balogun Oderinde. The Ibadan warrior who stood between Yorubaland and the Fulani Caliphate tide. In the early 19th century, long before the noise of colonial boots reached Yorubaland, a different thunder rolled across the savannah, the Fulani Jihad, led by Usman Dan Fodio, surging southward with fire, faith, and cavalry. City after city in Hausaland trembled. Ilorin fell. Oyo Isle, once the pride of the Oyo Empire, collapsed under betrayal and internal decay. And the Fulani cavalry pushed relentlessly toward the forested Yoruba heartlands. Their next target was clear. The Osun River Basin, the shield between the north and the rich Yoruba cities of Ibadan, Ife, and Ije. It was here that a fierce Ibadan war general, known in chants and Oriki as Balogun Oderinde, Akin Jagan Jagan, Omoti Ogun Ki Itaran Lowa. A child who does not fear war. Stood between his homeland and a tide that threatened to swallow an entire civilization. Before we dive into the main story, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell notification button for more interesting video like this. Oderinde was not born into nobility. He rose through raw courage, tactical brilliance, and the relentless spirit that defined the new Ibadan warrior order. When refugees from Oyo, Ibarapa, and surrounding villages fled south to form the military republic named Ibadan, young Oderinde quickly proved himself. The first into battle. The last to retreat. The master of ambush warfare. A commander whose voice could silence a battlefield. He trained under legendary warlords like Lajalu's descendants, and later the famed Ibadan Balogun lineage, absorbing military traditions that shaped Ibadan into a fearsome war machine. By age 30, Oderinde had earned the rank of OSI Balogun. By 40, he became Balogun, the supreme field commander of Ibadan. It was at that moment history demanded his strength. Around the 1830s-1840s, the Fulani forces in Ilorin, strengthened by cavalry and propelled by jihad fervor, began penetrating deeper south. They raided small towns along the Osun Valley. They set up forward camps near Akiran, Osadbo, and Iri. Their plan was to break Ibadan's lines, cross the Osun River, and take the entire south. If they succeeded, Yorubaland would fall like collapsing dominoes. Osun's people sent desperate messages to Ibadan. Egba wa. Ilorin ti deo. Save us. Ilorin forces are here. Ibadan council met. The generals argued. But all voices eventually hushed when Balogun Oderinde rose. We cannot wait for the fire to reach our walls. We take war to them, at Osun. History turned on those words. Oderinde led a formidable army. Veteran warrior regiments. Hunters from Ibarapa and Egba forest lines. Fearless Oyo refugees eager for revenge. The Ibadan cavalry, armed with charms, Dane guns, and iron discipline. Their march was legendary. Villages lined the road to greet them, chanting prayers, singing war songs, placing blessings on their heads. As they approached Osadbo and the Osun riverbank, scouts brought alarming news. The Fulani cavalry was already entrenched, their horses restless, banners flying under the dry savanna wind. They outnumbered the Ibadan forces. Many commanders hesitated. Oderinde simply untied his warrior cloth, tied it around his waist, and said, "Today, Osun will see who truly owns this land." The war erupted at dawn. The Fulani cavalry charged first, hundreds of riders, long spears lowered, hooves like thunder. Their strategy: break Ibadan's center, scatter the infantry, and chase them into the forest. But the Balogun anticipated this. He divided his forces into a fake weak center that would absorb the Fulani impact. Hidden flanking units concealed behind ridges and tall elephant grass. A reserve strike force armed with heavy charms and close-quarter weapons. He ordered the center to appear to break. The Fulani chased aggressively, believing victory was near. Then, Oderinde gave the signal. Ibadan's left and right flanks exploded out of hiding. Fulani cavalry found themselves stuck in marshy soil near the Osun banks, a terrain unsuited for horses. What followed was chaos. Spears clashed with cutlasses. Dane guns boomed. Fulani horses stumbled in mud. The riverbank turned into a swirl of mud and blood. At the height of battle, a Fulani emir raised his banner, rallying his men. Oderinde saw it. He pushed through the melee like a storm. Legend says he struck the emir from his horse, breaking the enemy morale instantly. Fulani forces panicked. Some fled toward Ilorin. Others drowned in the Osun River. The rest were cut down. By nightfall, the Fulani advance had collapsed. The Battle of Osun became one of the turning points of Yoruba history. Without that victory, Ibadan might have fallen. Oyo descendants could have been wiped out. The Fulani might have overrun the entire southwest. Yorubaland's culture, religion, and political structures could have changed forever. Balogun Oderinde returned to Ibadan a hero. Songs were composed for him. The mothers of Osun blessed him. Kings across Yorubaland sent gifts of gratitude. His leadership, strategy, and unyielding courage cemented him as one of the greatest warriors of the Ibadan military era. Balogun Oderinde's name may not appear in all colonial archives, but in the oral histories of Osun and Ibadan, his story remains alive, carried in chants, oriki, and moonlit storytelling circles. A warrior who stood firm when an entire nation trembled. A Balogun who defeated a tide many believed unstoppable. A guardian of Yoruba identity. Want more stories like this? Hit like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our story, because this is just getting started.